Hi, Joanna Harawaska, Nutrition in Motion, nutrition for body, mind, spirit, and sport. So today I want to talk about how to get started on a hydration plan. And this is good for runners, for triathletes, and anybody who's doing anything longer than an hour. So one of the first things you want to do is do a sweat rate test. If you go onto my website, www.nutritioninmotion.net, and just put in sweat rate into the search box, you will see a formula that I have for the sweat rate test. And basically you take your weight before you start, you take your weight after you start, and typically you go for an hour. Try not to take any fluids in, and then based on the weight that you have lost in that hour, you will then take that, multiply by 16, and that's how many ounces of fluids you have lost in that hour. If it's more than 20 ounces, then you definitely need to start adding more sodium and more electrolytes to get the water to be absorbed. The second part is start tracking how much fluids you're actually taking in. When you're running, that's probably the hardest sport to do in terms of intaking your fluids, and you generally want to do at least 16 ounces per hour. If you're on the bike, this is a water bottle that I use, and this generally is 24 ounces. So the rule of thumb that I work with my clients is to take in generally 24 ounces per hour. If you need more than that, then we definitely need to increase the electrolytes, and we can do that by basically estimating what the sodium needs are based on how many fluids you're taking in. I've got one client who literally loses 68 ounces an hour. So physically, you cannot take in more than 32, about a liter of fluids an hour. And when you're running, it's even harder to do. So we need to increase the electrolytes, and so that the water can be absorbed adequately. And then the third thing you want to do is try to monitor what your symptoms are like. And these are going to be different on the bike versus the run. Again, if you go to my website, www.nutritioninmotion.net, you will see, you can also type in dehydration, and you will get the signs of dehydration, and I have 2 or 3 blog posts on that. But there's about 18 different signs of dehydration. The most typical ones are a slight headache, slight nausea. If you're running, you feel like somebody put lead in your legs, so then you just don't really have the energy to move the legs. You tell them to move and they just don't. Same thing with on the bike, you just start losing power. Sometimes you get tightness in the hamstrings when you're on the bike. If you get off the bike and you're stiffer than stiff, you're starting to dehydrate. So you want to start paying attention to these signs and symptoms, and fatigue is another one as well. So if you'd rather just go like lay down in the shade and stop your activity, this is one of the things that the body does, is basically give you all these little warning signs to say, you know, you better either slow it down, or it helps to it gives you signs to prevent the dehydration. So some of it can also include an increased heart rate, and it starts to get jumpy in the high range. But you want to start paying attention to these things while you're doing your exercise sessions, and also pay attention to what happens 30 minutes afterwards, because that's typically when the signs of dehydration are really going to set in, and that's a lot of times when you get the stiffness, you get the fatigue, you get the muscle cramps. So just pay attention to these things. Those are the 3 things. And then if you really want some tangible numbers, go to Levelen, www.levelen.com, and order one of their test kits. You can order one for running, you can order one for cycling, and you basically monitor what you do for the hour and send in the little swab, and they will basically analyze how many electrolytes you're losing during an hour of activity. And then from there we can actually determine, well, if you're losing 2,000 milligrams of sodium an hour, then we've got to work on preloading plus optimizing how to take in the electrolytes during your event. So those are your 4 basic steps to start your hydration plan. If you have any questions, you can contact me, www.nutritioninmotion.net. I'm Joanna Hodorowska, Nutrition in Motion, nutrition for body, mind, spirit, and sport.